What's up guys, Cash back again, and we're almost out of July, which means new Avengers news should be on the horizon, and I'll recap what we should expect in the next patch update, and I'll share why I'm starting to believe that the Winter Soldier could possibly arrive alongside Cloning Labs when it's officially released. So let's jump into it. So back at the start of this month, developer Nick E was responding to comments over on Reddit as he often does, and he shared that the team is currently working on a new Warzone and the Cloning Lab OLT that was announced back in June, and that in the next development update they'll likely announce some new stuff, and that should cover the remainder of the stuff that is being substantially worked on. And he also shared that he won't guarantee an update will happen before the end of this month, because these updates take longer than he always hopes to get all the decision makers in agreement, but somewhere around the end of the month or beginning of next is what he's trying to make happen. And for anyone new to the channel or you're just starting to keep up with news on the game, Nick is one of the developers currently working on Avengers, and he's in charge of branding, so he plays a role in getting new content signed off on and marketed in whatever way the team feels is best. And as he said, we know that a new Warzone mission and AIM's Cloning Lab Omega level threat mission are the next forms of story content coming after patch 2.5, and we know from teasers from lead designer Brian Wagner that the next hero has been in active development, and that the plan going forward is to release hero, villain, and mission content more often by focusing on smaller content drops instead of bigger operations and expansions that take more time to develop, which leads to longer gaps between content releases. Back in the middle of July, Miller shared on Twitter that Bucky Barnes will be the next playable character to come to the game after Jane Foster, and for those of you who have been following news around the game, you know that he also accurately predicted that Jane Foster would arrive in the game back in March ahead of her official announcement in April. And as always, remember to take leaks and rumors with a grain of salt and not as a promise or absolute guarantee, because plans can change. And that's not to discredit Miller, because his track record speaks for itself at this point, but because I know some players take unofficial leaks and reveals as a guarantee and will start pressing the devs about something they can't speak on in any capacity because it's not official yet. So just keep that in mind. It's still not certain if the new Warzone and the Omega level threat missions will launch in the same patch update, and I'm currently leaning towards them launching in separate patches, which is why I think there's a solid chance that we can see the Winter Soldier announced in the next update blog if he is the next hero planned to release, and I think there's a chance it will be announced that he will launch alongside Cloning Lab in the patch following patch 2.6. I think this would make sense because there's an opening to tie Bucky into the game's story through the story around Cloning Lab, since it will push the story forward and possibly set the stage to take the story in a different direction. And because it's AIM and because Monica has no limits when it comes to her research, I can see a new way they could possibly go with Bucky's story in the game. I know a lot of players immediately think of Hydra when they think of the Winter Soldier and would love to see that tied into his story as well, but they've shown that they want to tell a more isolated story when it comes to introducing new characters into the Avengers story. And because of that, I had the idea of what if the Avengers discover that Bucky has been cloned by AIM. It would fit with the story they're telling about AIM, and Monica clearly has the resources and connections necessary to pull off something like that, and it would be an interesting twist on Bucky's story. This is just an idea that came to me, so it's purely my own speculation, but it's something that would catch players off guard, especially since most are on the lookout for his story to tie into Hydra in some way. Now, the one thing that makes me hesitant to believe Bucky will arrive with Cloning Labs is because it will be locked to level 175 heroes only, and Bucky definitely won't be level 175 anytime soon after he's released. So for that reason, I'm not 100% locked into expecting this to be their play, but we'll have to wait and hear what exactly they have planned. But I will share one thing that seems to support the idea that Miller isn't wrong about his latest prediction, and that's the fact that no one on the dev team has challenged the news in any public way, like we saw when the rumor was that She-Hulk would launch in time for her show, and they warned players not to get too attached to rumors and leaks panning out. Anyway, that's just some food for thought, but you guys know the drill. Now I want to hear your thoughts down below. Do you think there's a chance Bucky will arrive with Cloning Lab, or do you think he'll arrive sometime after? Let me know down below, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Marvel's Avengers content every week. And if you're interested in picking up Avengers merch, shop with Fandomian, and make sure to use my code in the description to get an additional 10% off. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.